Hi there, it's Ashley. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Thanks for stopping by. During our visits together, I hope to empower and encourage you to get up every time you get knocked down and to live the ultimate vision that you have for your life. No matter who you are, where you're from, what you believe or don't believe, or what you look like, you can do it. You can have a full, happy, satisfying life, and you are always welcome here. What do you want your life to look like? When you finally have that vision, how do you get there? I'm working on figuring out all of those things for myself. I was a caregiver for my parents for 14 years, and I gave up my life to be there for them. I gave up my career as a lawyer, getting married and having children, everything. I'm not saying that to say, oh, aren't I wonderful? I'm just saying that because I want you to know that I am in the trenches with you. I get it. I'm fighting every day to get through each day and to somehow enjoy life in the process. I'm in the pit with you all, trying to get out, trying to figure out how to have a better life. What do you want your life to look like? If you could have it be anything, you don't have to figure out the vision for your ultimate life right now. You can do what I'm doing and just, try to figure out who I am after losing myself and figuring out what I think the ultimate vision for my life looks like. And that may change 100 times in the next month, who knows? But part of the process of figuring out what your ultimate life looks like is also figuring out what it doesn't look like. I was taught by my dad that we can choose to not love and never feel the pain of loss associated with it, but we'll also never feel the love itself and the wonderful things that come with that. Whether it's for another person, a child, a business idea, a goal, your vision for your life, for you, whatever that is. Figure out what that vision is, even if it's just the vision for right now, for today, for this week, and know that that can change over time, and it probably will. You need to nurture that vision and help it grow by spending time and energy and making it a reality for you, figuring out what you want and what you don't want, and changing that and tailoring it as you go along in everyday life. I knew that choosing to be here for my parents as a caregiver, I knew it was going to cost me a lot. It cost me everything, including costing me a lot of pain and tears watching my parents suffer. But I wouldn't change that, even if I could. It was worth it to be here because I love them tremendously. I always will. I'm weird to say, but I suffered along with them, and I'm better for it. I'm stronger. And I know that many of you out there are the same, and you know what I mean? You've given your all to a relationship, to taking care of your children or a disabled child or your parents, or to taking care of your dreams, your business, you. And I know that you've suffered unimaginable losses too. We all have, but in different ways. And, maybe it was a trusted friend or a family member who abandoned you or should have stood by you and been there by your side and believed in you when you were trapped in a legal battle, trying to clear your name, or you were fighting a health issue that didn't seem like it would ever get better. I think we can use that suffering and pain to grow even stronger. Growth is painful, but I think we'll all be better for it. When you finally have that vision for your life figured out, whether it's for just right now or for the future or both, how do you get there? How are we supposed to get through this and figure out how to get to what we want? I think we have to, generate hope and set a big goal. Figure out what the smaller steps are to get to that big goal. Finding ways to generate things that give us hope can be hard. I think we should pick one thing from the vision of our ultimate life and have that as a goal to work towards and work backwards towards it. Once you have that big goal chosen, it takes small steps to get there, small goals to reach the big goal. Remember that wars are won by winning the small battles in between the starting line and the finish line. The middle is where the victory is truly obtained. It's where you find out who you are and what you want. It's a long and tedious process, but that's the process. We can stay on the battlefield of life and keep moving forward and win the war for our happiness, the war for our future. And in my experience and from what my dad taught me, once the war is won and we have victory, we still have to fight to keep that victory intact. And all of that requires us to get up every day, which I believe requires hope. Starting from the end and working backwards to the goal, I think it's necessary. You can't get somewhere without knowing where you want to go and then knowing how to get there. You know, it's like going to another city if you have no idea what roads to take to get there. I mean, yeah, you could eventually get there if you waste enough time and wander around. But, you know, life is short and we shouldn't waste that time that we have. You know, I have to remind myself of that every day. It's hard to do. There's no way to sugarcoat it. You know, life can be really tough, but we can be tougher. You know, it would be nice if we had a Google Maps for life, you know, where we could just put in the destination and it would tell us how to get there step by step and it would be simple. You know, but we don't. We have to figure that out for ourselves, and that's tough. One of the things that I'm doing to try and generate hope for myself is doing my new video series on this channel that I'm calling Hope for Today. You know, my decision to make those videos was born out of, you know, my need for hope, and I was enjoying the process of trying to find hope every day and searching for it. And, you know, I thought about posting it. Maybe it could help someone else find hope for themselves. And then that gave me hope, you know, so it was, you know, something that helped me that I hope will help someone else too. And, you know, I think you guys can all do that too. Try to find hope for your lives. And if you see someone else suffering or struggling that, you know, that you want to share that with them. It's important. Or you can start a YouTube channel. You know, that's how this was born, this whole YouTube channel. My dad wanted to give everybody that he could possibly give hope to encourage them to have a better life, to be happy, you know? You can just talk to someone else who's struggling, who you know needs hope too, who's suffering, and privately share, you know, what you're going through and let them know what your life is like every day. Because I think a lot of people, you know, we put on masks and we pretend like everything is fine. I know I do that, you know, and things are not fine. And people, I don't know, I think for me, sometimes it makes me feel bad when I see other people who just never have a bad day. Like, how is that possible? You know, how do they do that? And so I try to share with people that it takes effort to have a good day. It takes effort to try to have a good day. And sometimes you just have to, I don't know how to put it, you know, like you just have to pretend like today is fine. And weirdly, that can kind of help get through the day. It seems to work for me. I don't know if that would work for you guys, but I don't know. It's just one of those things. You know, sometimes when there's just no clear answer for suffering, which there's usually not, or for struggling, sharing that you're suffering and struggling too really can give someone else hope. You know, but that worked for me when I was a caregiver for my parents. You know, friends who'd been caregivers themselves for their family members shared their experiences with me, and I felt like I wasn't alone anymore because they got it, you know? And sometimes that was enough to get me through the day when I didn't think I could survive, because, you know, life is tough, life is hard. And, you know, we have to remember that lots of things that happen that are really wonderful things start small. You know, everything that comes into being starts small. Everything, you know, everything is made up of small particles, like humans are made of cells. Light is made of photons. You know, a glimmer of hope can become a huge beacon of light for others, like a lighthouse shining over a dark sea when you survive and share your story with others. And, you know, starting this YouTube channel was like part of my journey for that. You know, it was finding my voice, and it's been a really long, tedious, and difficult process, and it's still happening right now. And, you know, the birth of everything has been painful, but it's been worth it. And I know that the birthing pains and then the growing pains, which are always next, will all be worth it. And I think that they will be for you too. I think everything like that is important in life, you know, it costs you something. It costs you pain. I'm a Christian and I believe in God. And, you know, the Bible says, do not despise the day of small beginnings in Zechariah 4:10. And if you're not a Christian, I mean, that, you know, it doesn't matter to me. Whatever you believe or don't believe, be you. Be who you are. The only reason I mention this verse is because I think it's applicable, like, to life in general. You know, it's not just something that's religious, you know? I think some of the greatest success stories come from small beginnings. My sincere hope is that you will try something new and you'll see where it leads to, and maybe we can take that journey together, because I'm gonna do this publicly here on this channel. So I hope that you all will join me and let me know about your journeys too. And as I mentioned earlier, I'll have a video coming after this where I'm going to cover the question of how do you enjoy life until that vision that you have becomes reality, because the middle is tough. The middle is the hard part. We'll dive into that and we'll figure it out together. My dad always said that you can never say, I love you enough. Love is powerful. It can change lives and circumstances in the world. I love you all, no matter who you are, where you're from, what you believe or don't believe, or what you look like. And I know that my dad loves you all too. And you need to love you also, no matter what. We're all humans and we all deserve love, even self-love. We have to stop hating ourselves. We have to stop feeling bad about ourselves and feeling guilty and ashamed and move on. We have to move on to the next season of our lives. Move on to the vision that we have for our lives, whether it's a vision for today or this week or for our whole lives. I really hope that this message has been useful to you today. My favorite quote by Johann Wolfgang von Goethe is, "What is my life if I'm not useful to others?" I also hope that you will take the time to think about what you want from life, both right now and in the future, and continue to pursue those things. You are worth that time and that effort. And I hope that you will continue to hold on to hope and to walk through the seasons of life, finding joy and happiness at intervals along the way. And remember that no matter how difficult life gets, we all can get through it. We can take this journey together. We're all human beings, and we can all be here for each other. Thank you for visiting. I'll see you again soon.